the last strategy after every other strategy seems to have failed. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through what exactly to do if you've tried several things to meet your sales targets and for some reason you're still behind. Now, some of you already, probably this strategy is even your main strategy. This video is also going to show you how to make the best of it and use it to your full advantage. My name is Yoro Gwigwe. I've trained over 23,000 salespeople across 5 countries: Nigeria, Ghana, USA, UAE, Rwanda. I'm an author of several books and resources on sales, and I've been featured on lots of media platforms to talk about successful selling. I worked in an organization where I was given a target to sell to 20 high net worth individuals, and I was able to bring in 21 high net worth individuals in a single month. I also participated in a sales competition where I won, and I was sent for the World Cup for an all-expense paid trip. I moved to another organization where I grew my portfolio by over 100% in just 11 months. So ladies and gentlemen, my specialty is in Salesforce management. I run a company called Ultravantage. And today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about referral selling. Referral selling. Now, you see, referral selling is a strategy that for a lot of people, they may have forgotten to ask for referrals. You know, in the sales process, when we look at prospecting, qualifying, building rapport, qualifying, identifying needs, communicating value, handling objections, closing the sale, one of the last steps in the sales process is referrals, asking for referrals. Why? Because you see, referrals are a powerful source of closing sales in a record time. A powerful strategy to meet any budget in record time. Now, let me tell you about my first experience with referral selling. In an organization where I worked, there was a campaign where we had a referral and win campaign, where we were told to meet all our existing clients and have them refer a few friends and colleagues to us. And if they referred, they were going to get some reward or some rebate or some sort of benefit. And funny enough, I won that referral campaign. I remember, I don't even talk about this so often, funny enough. I remember when I won this campaign, the head office sent me a Bluetooth speaker as my reward. I'll never forget. A Bluetooth speaker. Wow, interesting. Now, of course, then it looked precious because the Bluetooth speakers seem to have just come out at that time. So I was happy. So I'm sure you may be surprised if for you, when you get your rewards, you get cash prizes and so on. Before I got a Bluetooth speaker. So, ladies and gentlemen, I also use referral selling when I was given a target to sell to 20 high net worth individuals. One of the strategies I deployed around that period, where I was able to bring in 21 HNIs in a single month, one of the strategies I deployed in that period was referral selling. So, let me walk you through how to use referral selling to your advantage. I'm going to first of all define referral selling. I would walk you through the characteristics of referral selling, why it works, and I will show you how to use referral selling. Let's go right in. Now, referral selling is a sales strategy that leverages relationships. You leverage referrals to attract new customers and grow sales. So when I practice referral selling, I want to leverage relationships. I want to leverage other people's contacts, referrals, to attract new sales. And sometimes we go as far as using influencers, we go as far as using business partners, customers, family and friends, which are the relationships, who can introduce us to other people to get our products or services successfully. Now, referral selling works because, you see, most people buy from people who they know, they like, and they trust. So if I know you, I like you, and I trust you, I'll do business with you. Now, if someone refers me to a client, right, because that person knows the client, the person would most likely trust me. Now, it's not a guarantee that the person would like me or know me, but because of that person's reference, automatically, I'll be riding on the person's know, like, and trust factor. Most times, it goes effortlessly for you to be able to make sales successfully. Now, referrals, let me just give you some characteristics of referral selling. Number one, they are relationship-based. So this means if you get, now, why am I saying it's relationship-based? There's a difference between a lead and a referral, right? If I gave you a contact and someone said, can you refer me to someone who can buy my product or service? And I gave you the person's name and number. That's just a lead. That's as good as me giving you a list of people from the internet, names and phone numbers. Name and number, just that. Now, a referral would be, Yori, can you give me a referral? And I gave you the person's name and number. And in addition to that, I put a call through to the person. And I said, oh, Sheung is coming to meet you. Inkem is coming to see you shortly. He wants to get this product or service. I've spoken to him about, I've spoken to, I'm telling the referral about Inkem, right? So that when Inkem calls him or her, the person will be ready to receive him or her easily. So if you get a referral and the person who is referring doesn't put a word for you, it's just as good as a lead. So that's why it's relationship based, right? When you're practicing referral selling is based on the relationship of the person that is referring you. Another thing is that referrals are word of mouth marketing. Now, word of mouth marketing is very, very effective because you see, when people have experienced your services effectively, they want to go around and talk to people about it. They will be excited enough to talk to people about it. Then personal introductions, like I've said. Number 3, characteristics of referrals. Personal introductions are key. Because when personal introductions are there, it makes it easy for you to be able to walk through. And I'm going to show you shortly how to ask and get these personal introductions. Then referrals also give you high quality leads. You see, because if I was to go through a list of prospects for cold calling, maybe a list of about 500 people, and I called, if I find 100 quality leads from a list of 500 people, that would almost be like a miracle, right? So you can imagine, for me to get quality leads from a list of 500 people, it would take me going through a lot to find that. But with referrals, if you give me 500 referrals, there are chances that at least 450 or maybe 400 will be quality leads. So people who are referring you, they probably will be thinking through and analyzing who would be the best fit to get your product or service. Then number 5, referral selling shortens the sales cycle. The whole process of meeting a prospect, asking questions, building rapport, identifying needs, qualifying, all that prolonged sales process will be shortened immediately. It will move from meeting a prospect, closing, meeting the prospect, telling them about the product or service, closing. It's going to be shortened, maybe 3 or 4 steps to the max. Then finally, increase conversion rates. Because normally, maybe for every 10 people you meet, you close 1. With referral selling, it could be a 1-to-1, meaning for every referral that you get, you close. It could be that's effective. Now, referral selling can be applied in various ways, right? There are various sources you can get referrals from, and I've said that already, but let me just emphasize on that a little bit more. Remember, I said you can get them from customers. You can get them with people who have bought from you and are happy and are satisfied, right? Because you see, if you meet somebody who hasn't bought from you, and you want to get referrals from the person, it's still possible, but there's a technique that must be applied, which I'll talk about shortly again. But first of all, I said, hey, you want to get it from customers. Very, very key. People who have done business with you. If you look through your records, I was watching a program the other day, a lady who was in the nail business. From the nail business, she used those her contacts to be able to get people to buy properties from her. So customer referrals. Number 2, and the fun thing about customer referrals is that it may not even be that they are referring you in the line of the same products. They may even refer you towards another product because of your personality, because of your diligence, your attitude. They feel like, wow, this person is somebody who I trust and is effective and does her work effectively. Number 2, sources of referrals, partnering with other businesses. There are other businesses who provide other services that are in your value chain. So, for example, if you sell, I sell sales training solutions. Imagine somebody who sells suits or sell clothes, and I partner with the person and I'm saying, hey, anybody who comes to buy your suits, who works in an organization and is a salesperson, I would like to get the person's details for a particular kind of agreement, right? So the point is that somebody in your value chain, who else needs a service along the line of maximum satisfaction in your line of work? For example, maybe you sell real estate now, and you're partnering with somebody who is in the paint business, right? Because somebody who is in the paint business will most likely want to paint the houses of the people who own houses. Or you sell real estate and you're partnering with somebody who is in the interior decoration space. So that's what I mean by partner referrals. Another kind of referrals are influencer referrals. Aha. In today's world, influencers are very powerful. In fact, many businesses today, many organizations today, they don't use traditional marketing anymore. They just get to see these individuals who have a lot of followers and have a lot of engagements, and they strike some business with them. So influencer referrals too work effectively. So these are things that you want to pen down and strategize and say to yourself, you know what, which of these can I explore to be able to find prospects? See, remember, prospecting is searching for something that is available, right? I drop my ring somewhere and I'm looking for it. I'm prospecting to find it because information is given to me that this thing is within this area. So I'm searching. That's what prospecting is about. So you want to make sure that you explore all the possible options so you can find people who can do business with you. Then finally, prospects referrals. Encouraging prospects to refer their friends and family. Now, let me start with prospect referrals. Now, I want to go into talking to you about the techniques to use now to be able to ask for referrals successfully. I was in a meeting with the MD of a company 2 days ago, and he was talking to me about how somebody called him, and when the person was engaging him about the product or service, he told her the person was trying to sell citizenship passports to him. So he told her, he says, "Oh, I already have this service. I actually don't need it." So he said the way she asked him and the way she engaged him, he said if he had asked her for referrals, if she had asked him for referrals, he said he would have gladly given her 2 or 3 people to go and engage, but she didn't ask. So are you leaving money on the table when you engage your prospects? You can see that you've gotten this prospect's attention. This prospect has listened to you, has engaged you. You've got this prospect's attention. This prospect has listened to you. You have engaged this prospect. You can tell that he's giving you eye contact. Come on. What are you waiting for? Even if he doesn't want the product or service for any reason, maybe he's not in the market for that product or doesn't have a budget at the time for whatever reason, if you've engaged right, you've built rapport, you've dressed properly, you know that you've made an impact on this person from his body language, from his facial expression, from how he or she listens to you, then ladies and gentlemen, what are you waiting for? Ask for referrals. And how do you ask? Oh, Mr. Prospect, I'll be glad if you can refer me to 1 or 2 of your friends or family who you know could be interested in this. I don't mind if you can just give me a name and a number. I'll take it down right away. I would really, really appreciate if in addition to this name and number. Now, please, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you write the name and number first before you go to the second request, right? When you got to the person's name and number, then ask, Mr. Prospect, I really appreciate if you could put a call through to this person to let the person know that I will be coming in to engage him or her for this service. Or, Mr. Prospect, hope you don't mind, when I call this person, can I mention your name that you referred me to this person? Any of these 2 would work. So you want to make sure that you ask this question first, only after you have gotten the name and the number. Now, why are you doing this? Because you see, if you ask consecutively, meaning you ask for the referral's name and number, then you go straight to asking for him or her to speak to the person on your behalf, that will be too much for the person. And you'll find cases where the person will say things like, "Oh, okay, let me do that first. I would conclude and I'll send the names to you." No, ask for the names and numbers first, then ask if the person can speak to the person on your behalf, or if you can engage the person, then tell the person that you called, you were referred by them. So you can do it in 3 levels, right? You can do it in 3 levels. Number 1, I get the person's name and number. Mr. Prospect, can I have the person's name and number? He gives it to you. Number 2, you now ask, "Oh, hope you don't mind, sir. Can you put a call through to him so that the person can know that I'll be coming and I can engage?" And the person says, "Oh, yes, I'll do that right away." Or if the person says, "I'm not going to do that now." "Okay, hope you don't mind." Then number 3, "Hope you don't mind. Can I call to confirm or to let the person know that I was referred to by you?" So that this way you practice a systematic communication of being able to get referrals. Now, how do you get referrals from people who are your existing clients? Very, very important. Now, funny enough, it may look like getting referrals from existing clients or from prospects may even be easier if you don't ask correctly. Why? Because when you ask an existing client for referrals, the person will say, we are together now. Don't worry. I'll give you. Don't worry. I'm busy now, but let me give. I'll get back to you. I'll send to you. We've been doing business together. You know me now. Okay, I'll send it to you. But for some reason, you never get the referrals. I've experienced that before. So what you do is, I remember meeting the HNI for one of our clients, an HNI, high net worth individual, and I had been serving him, going to his office, whatever needs or issues he had to resolve, I was able to resolve in record time, just to make sure that he had a blissful experience. So I was sitting with him in his office, and I said, "Okay, sir, what are the 2 things you've enjoyed about our services so far, please? I just wanted to hear from you, please." You see, your tone of voice matters when you communicate, how you ask these questions. So what are the 2 things you've enjoyed so far from our services? I just want to hear from you, please. Just 2 things. And the person says, "Oh, I like the fact that you respond speedily when I call you for those transactions. Well, I like the fact that you're always on time. So I think that's really helping my business." And I'm like, "Okay, sir, I'll be glad if you could give me some of your friends." Actually, ladies and gentlemen, I asked for 5 that day. I'll be glad if you could give me 5 of your friends who I could possibly engage and provide the same service to them, sir. So hope you know, I know you're really busy, so I wouldn't want you to interrupt your schedule trying to get you to send me these names. So I'll be glad if you can just look through your phone right now. Just give me their names and see their numbers. I'll write them out. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the first time I did that. This man, I'll never forget it, and he affected me forever. He just picked up his phone and he said, "Okay, take this person's number." And he started to mention celebrities, Celestin Babayaro, he mentioned. That's a footballer. He started to mention some top individuals. And he gave me their names and their numbers. And I just called these people, went in for meetings with them, closed the sale. I said, "Oh, this person referred me to you." Closed the sale easily. And those people kept on referring me and referring me and referring me. The first sale I made, I'll never forget. Anyakura Chuba, businessman in Apapa there, where I was standing at the ATM waiting on the queue to withdraw cash. He just turned. He was standing in front of me, so he just turned and looked at me head to toe. You could tell that this man said, who is this young, well-dressed man? Because the man was sharply dressed too. Just looked at me like, "Oh, wow." So immediately after that, I said, "Hello, sir." I just gave my card, introduced myself. He said, "Come to my office, let's have a meeting." When I got to his office, had a meeting. From the day I engaged him, everybody else, his business, people who were doing business with him, he just referred me right there, immediately, from that first day I met him. So use referral selling. Don't leave money on the table, ladies and gentlemen. So 2 key things I've said so far about using referral selling. Sell yourself successfully, right? Because people who haven't bought from you will not give you referrals. Put your best foot forward. Your dressing, your mannerisms, being very professional, your smile, your tone of voice, and making sure that you ask for the referral at the right time. I hope I've not left anything else. I hope I've covered everything I wanted to say about referrals. But thank you so much for listening. Oh, yes, there's one more thing, please. One more thing, very, very important. Now, I've seen cases where, thank God, I have some more time. I've seen cases where somebody says, "Iori, this person, I've been engaging people, and when I ask them for referrals, they don't want to give me referrals. Maybe these are prospects, right?" Or someone says, "Okay, look at this story. I want this story to drive home the point I'm trying to make right now." One of our students, she talks about how she was going to a hotel somewhere in Ikoyi, right? She was going there for a meeting. And while she was going there, she observed that a G-Wagon drove in. So she thought, "Wow, man, this man can possibly buy one of our projects. This man could possibly be a prospect." So she actually waited back in her car for a while the G-Wagon came in. She could see that the driver had dropped the owner in front of the hotel. He walked in, and the G-Wagon came to park. So he didn't park too far from her. So she said she walked straight to the man, referral selling now. And she says, "Oh, good afternoon. I saw the fact that you dropped your boss at the entrance. I was hoping you could introduce me to your boss so that he could buy one of our projects, and I'll be willing to give you this amount of money or a commission if he buys from us." And the driver says, "Oh, really? Okay, go and bring the flyer. Let me see. Said she went back to her car. On getting to her car, she gets the flyer. As she's approaching him, the owner was already in the car at the back, and the driver was already talking to him about it and pointing to her. So she gets there, gets his contacts, engages him, she schedules a meeting, and takes business to the next level. So what I'm trying to say here is that another aspect of referral selling is getting people to become agents for you. People who would introduce you to or give you access to certain contacts you wouldn't have had otherwise. I was in a meeting the other day where the MD of the company was talking about how he was trying to sell one of his projects. He was sweating. He was going through so much trying to sell it. One day he was in the car with the driver and he says, "Hey you, what's the matter? Don't you know anybody who can buy some of our projects?" The man said, "Okay sir, actually, where I used to work before, my former Oga, he can buy, but please don't tell him it's from me." And he gave the man his contacts. And he said the guy bought 2 luxury projects from them. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you can convert people as agents. Look for people who can become agents to introduce you to people who are in their world. Now, in such cases, we may not call that referrals per se, but for the sake of this training, let's call them referrals. So these people, they may not be able to call them and say things like, "Oh, I'm referring to somebody who's coming to do business with you right now." No. But they have these people's contact. Maybe they were their hairdresser. Maybe they were their barber. Maybe they used to wash their cars. Maybe they used to iron their clothes or take care of their clothes. Maybe they were their former driver or their former cook. My point is, there are people who you can call agents, who you can strike some level of partnership with. And one of the best ways to strike this partnership, ladies and gentlemen, is to tell them, "You know what you do? I hope you would agree to this advice. But it's your choice to take this advice. But our advice is to try this. Tell the person, you know what? Why don't you take 90% of the commission on this sale? If it goes through, I will keep 10%. So that after that, going forward, I'll be keeping all the commissions." Would that work for you? Most times, person will say yes. Because if you tell somebody, "Let's do 50-50 from the commission." 50-50 is too, it's just like, it's just average. It may not be exciting enough. But if you tell the person, "I will keep 10%, you take 90%. So that at least going forward, I'll be managing his customer and I'll be getting other sales from him." Would that work? Most times they'll tell you, yes, it will. So in sales, they say the person who can spend the most to acquire a customer is the person that wins. So with this now, it means that you're going to be spending your first sale, 90% of that commission, which it could be a lot for you, so that you can acquire this customer. But ladies and gentlemen, when you acquire this customer, you have not just acquired a customer, you have acquired a family. All his friends, all his cousins. Anybody who starts doing business with you, most likely will continue to do business with you. Imagine somebody who buys a property from you right now. When the person buys, he'll continue to buy. It's not as if the person will buy and say, "For now, I don't have money to buy anymore." They will continue to buy because the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Remember to share this video with others who need this strategy to be able to meet their budgets or meet their sales targets. Remember to like as well. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow or in the next video. Talk to you soon.